never seen that movie. I actually don't know what that's from.
Neither do I.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Hello guys, welcome to the 4th official episode of the We'll Figure It Out podcast. I'm Coral.
Emma.
And this is the We'll Figure It Out podcast.
Today we're going to be talking about... Hold up, I need to look up Good Morning. Oh, that's the name of the movie.
Oh, who was in it?
Robin Williams.
Oh.
Y'all already know that. Everyone knows that, apparently.
Exactly.
Today we're going to be diving right into conspiracy theories.
Wait, have you heard the sci-fi alarm? That's exactly what
Nope.
Welcome back, guys!
If you listen to that in the morning, you have some issues.
Yeah, I don't know what I have.
That's horrifying. It changes every day. Every different alarm has a different sound. Let's see.
Ever since I heard the fact that your brain can get used to your alarm, and I have a really hard time waking up to alarms, I have to change it up every single alarm.
It just happens. I don't know. When I create new ones, they just put their own. So this one's 10 a.m. today. That's when I did it at 9:30. Let's see. By the seaside. This one's probably my favorite. Oh, no, it's not. That one gives me PTSD a little bit.
Waking up for school?
Yeah.
Mine is the default on one of them. So this one pisses me off in the morning. Nothing pisses me off more. I have the barking one on my iPad. So that way, I have the barking one. Because then I think about Hero and Zelda when I'm waking up, so it makes me wake up. Shout out my dogs.
I don't have to set the barking alarm. My dog does that naturally. Diva Cup, 4:15 a.m.
That's so funny. Did you think that
Why would I do that? Let's do 6 a.m. Let's see what my 6 a.m. is. Uplift. I like this one.
Me too. I think I'd be really happy if I woke up to that. I'd be like, okay, the sun is shining, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go? For this episode? Alright.
Today we're going to be talking about, we have 2 conspiracies for you, and a couple Reddit stories, because I'm a sucker for people reading scary stories on Reddit. I miss those, Cora and I were talking about this, I miss those split screen TikToks where one of them was like Subway Surfers.
Or like they're cutting up the soap or poking at slime and they're talking about the scary stories.
Yeah. Ooh,
Bring them back,
good.
Please.
Okay. When you think of conspiracies, you might think of secret societies, aliens in bunkers, or billionaires plotting world domination. But what if I told you one of the scariest conspiracies actually happened? And it happened right here, in the United States, sanctioned by the government. Between 1956 and 1971, the FBI ran a secret organization targeting any group they thought was subversive. So that includes groups like the Martin Luther King Jr. and the broader civil rights activist movement. That includes the Black Panther Party, the Native American activists fighting for sovereignty, anti-Vietnam War protesters, and feminist and social organizations. Or think of feminists and like LGBTQ activists, kind of similar to today. The government created this group illegally to spy on them, target them, blackmail them, and try to dismantle these activist organization groups because they were going against the social norm and what the government was trying to do. Remember, kids, when you think the government would never do that, oh yes they would. The president at the time was Hoover. Basically, if you believed in peace, equality, or ending unjust wars, congrats, you are on J. Edgar Hoover's naughty list. Here's where it gets truly horrifying. COINTELPRO didn't just spy on their activists, it aimed to destroy them, their credibility, their organizations, and their lives. They spread false information about these groups, they incited violence, and they even targeted and blackmailed some activist leaders of that time. In one of its darkest acts, the FBI sent Martin Luther King Jr. an anonymous letter urging him to kill himself.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Wait, was it just because, was that after he did his speech and all that? Like,
yeah, this is like the height of the civil rights movement. This is the height of him. I have a dream speech. Like, he's in the media. They're threatened by his presence. They're threatened by his civil unrest. That they're sending him fake letters Well, not fake. I guess they're real, urging him to kill himself.
And this
because
is
if he didn't from the FBI, because if he didn't, they threatened to release like taboo information about him. I think it was something to do with him having alleged affairs. So if he didn't kill himself, they would ruin his reputation. Why?
How did he die?
So Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated by an alleged escaped convict, but he totally could have been like hired or
100%.
by the government.
Yeah,
he's like
an ex-convict. Like,
he was their scapegoat.
yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. If we're getting into conspiracy theories, there's one for you. That was America's greatest civil rights leader being blackmailed into suicide by our own government. In 1971, a group called the Citizens Commission to Investigate the FBI, yeah, that's a fucking long-ass name, broke into the FBI office and exposed all of these documents and made them open to the public. And that's how we know this is true. And after that, the FBI made them public knowledge. You can find this on their website. Just so you know, this information only came to light because of literal burglary by concerned citizens. That's the only reason this information is out. After the outrage, the organization was ended. But here's the chilling part. Did it really end?
Did it?
I argue that because today, under different names, that surveillance still happens. That shit still continues. We are still watched. We are still threatened. We are still under the law. What is stopping the government from doing this just in a slightly more inconspicuous way?
Exactly. And now that today we have more advanced technologies that we just have in our hands and more accessible to us,
Yeah.
it's all around us, what else are they doing?
We were going to do a segment on, like, they're tapped into our phones and they're listening to us. No shit. Like, everyone knows that. That wouldn't be entertaining.
It's just a given.
Yeah. So they have so many more means to achieve this surveillance and this propaganda and this threatening presence than they did back then. And also there are a lot of civil unrest activist groups happening right now.
Yep.
Like, it's
still prevalent in
shit's
our
hitting the
lives
fan. For example, post 9/11, Muslim groups were heavily attacked by the US government. Similar to, I don't know what's happening today. Black Lives Matter leaders have been monitored by the FBI. Shocker. Big shocker. Environmental activists find themselves on FBI watch lists. And that's not shocking at all. Have you seen the Big Beautiful Bill? Here's what I want you to think about. Where is the line between protecting national security and dismantling social change? And who gets to decide that? For me personally, I feel like that line is blatantly, like, where harm begins. If there is a group here that is blatantly terrorist, hateful, negative, meaning to do harm, terrorists, KKK.
Yeah, exactly.
Something
if
like
they
that.
have a label on their group that they are causing hate, they're causing harm, they're just being hateful, then that's where you should.
Yeah, that's
draw
the
the
line I draw. But activists like Martin Luther King Jr., Black Lives Matters, LGBTQ movements, the trans rights movements, I feel like that isn't a threat. That's not. Yeah, it's a threat to your identity if you care enough. It's a threat to your perspective on life. It's a threat to your, like, what you think is real. That's not harming you. There is
not fair.
Yeah, there is no harm to anyone happening with someone being gay. There's no harm to anyone when Martin Luther King is marching for civil rights. The government still felt threatened by them because they were dismantling. They're probably calling out the government in some ways. They're probably creating a huge civil unrest, and the government didn't want shit to hit the fan, and they didn't want to feel exposed. That's not fair. That's an abuse of the system. And I see that today. We still see that today. We're seeing that everywhere. I'm not going to get too political on here. That's super prevalent today. Who gets to decide, though, is, I don't think, the president.
It's a muddy area because everybody has their own opinions, and it can be such on a vast scale, you know? It's not for the person that is deciding that they're either homophobic or racist. That's not fair, because then that's just discriminating on the person. And then, I don't know, it's just such a large, broad, like, picking one person.
I don't think it is. I think that we're a democracy. Like, we're supposed to come together. Yeah. I mean, we can't let the president be the only one that has any power. We're supposed to be a democracy. Yeah, I know we're probably not in control of the government as much as we'd like to be right now, but we're supposed to be a democracy. In an ideal world, we should come together and decide as people. The government should give us the opportunity to make decisions like that. Like, yeah, we're a democracy. I don't think it should be up to the president. And it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. We have this set up so that we have equal rights and equal say and equal opinions. And the majority, I guess the majority wins.
We the people.
Leave your opinions in the comments.
Yeah.
What do you think? Who gets to decide that? In my opinion, COINTELPRO wasn't protecting Americans, it was protecting the status quo. If freedom of speech and assembly can be quietly dismantled behind closed doors, are we free or just free enough to not notice? COINTELPRO reminds us that some of the scariest conspiracies aren't the ones with UFOs or lizard people. They're the ones signed off with government seals. Stamp that.
And power.
So before you plan your next protest, maybe give your FBI agent a heads up. He's already reading your group chat notifications anyways. So after learning the government once dedicated an entire secret program to ruining the lives of its citizens, you might be thinking, at least they aren't hiding anything else from us. Except maybe aliens. Because if they can keep COINTELPRO under the wraps for decades, what's stopping them from keeping a little extraterrestrial life under the table? Coming up, UFOs, UAPs, and why every blurry video of a UFO is filmed on a potato from 2003.
Have you ever looked in the sky and thought, wow, that star is moving really weirdly fast? Today we are going to be talking about UFO sightings and UAP sightings. Since you guys, we decided to change the names of UFOs, unidentified flying objects. I can't see! My colleague here. For my first point today, we are talking about the sightings that made pilots say, fuck no, and turn their shit around, okay? Let's rewind to 2004 on the coast of San Diego, where a bunch of U.S. Navy pilots were working on just the area, and they found a unidentified flying object. These Navy pilots, as they were doing their work, they watched a unidentified flying object drop to 80,000 feet to sea level in less than a second. They had thought it was a UFO or a very dramatic seagull. While investigating, David Fravor, a very flavored, seasoned, experienced commander, he said that he found a very flavored, seasoned commander experience. I'm not an earthling, okay? I'm still learning English. Commander David Fravor, a decorated pilot, was sent to go investigate the site. What he saw? A white, oval-shaped pill-like thing moving around like it didn't know what physics was. It didn't have wings or an exhaust, and it darted around like a caffeinated squirrel. Today, it is known as the Tic Tac UFO, and I can't tell if that's a really anticlimactic name or a really great breath mint ad.
This guy stinks!
Point number 2. Our government finally admits to something. Flash forward to 2020. In the Pentagon, they never say anything good or fun. They claim that the alien footage that they dropped was real, and yeah, they just casually said, yeah, it's real, it's a cool thing, we're good.
Oh my gosh! We're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
Now you may be wondering, wait, the government admitted to something that wasn't just fucking swamp gas? Yeah, they did. They admitted to it. Then in 2021, the Office of National Director of Intelligence released a report. It reviewed 144 UAP sightings. And they didn't want to use UFO because it was apparently too spicy for them. Discriminative. You know what? I have come to find that the human civilization, they're the most racist in the entire universe. Oh my god. Every single civilization that we have found so far, in my opinion, Americans are the worst. Very discriminatory, filled with hate. I didn't know we were going to release that. Just filled with hate. This is on the script. I guess so. You guys suck. So basically, we don't know what it is, but we know it's not nothing. And that's how we feel about gluten. Thank you very much. Should we say some American jokes?
Oh, I love that idea.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
I don't know. I forgot that was the joke. Take it to the other side or something. Do you know? Oh God, you hit my nose. Oh, I'm sorry.
What do you call, I heard this one recently. What do you call a cow with no legs?
What? What's a cow?
It's those things that we abduct with our ships.
Oh my gosh, we abduct them all the time.
Yeah,
those things are sick.
The big black and white spotted things.
Moo!
Yeah.
Moo!
What do you call a cow with no legs?
Dead?
Ground beef.
Fucking came up with that. And let's not forget the Phoenix Lights. In March of 1997, thousands of people across Arizona claimed to say that they saw a V-shaped light all across Arizona. It was silent, no sound, just a simple beam of light. One witness came out and said that the light was so bright that it even blocked the stars. Kind of romantic. People like to claim that it was flares, like the emergency flares that you guys fly off. But how is that even possible? What type of claim is that? A light geometrically shaped like that for hours? Flares don't last that long. Even the governor of Arizona, Fife Sigmonton, came out and he said that he saw the beam of light. But he claimed it as a joke. He had to remain calm so that way people wouldn't freak the fuck out. It was just for fun, y'all. Look, if my governor saw an alien spaceship and his first instinct was to do stand-up, I have some questions. Now we have alien theories. The sketch, the suspicious, the wait, the what? Yeah, what the fuck is that?
My hand.
I saw this in a movie once. I think people call that war.
No.
Yeah, we just started war. So what are we looking at here? Secret military tech, Russian drones, alien observation missions, where they decided that Earth is just too fucking bad on Yelp. Some folks, like former intelligence David Grush, whatever the type of last name is that, claim to say that the US has non-human or just alienated people in their government. He testified under oath in 2023, which raises the critical question: if we do have alien bodies, why haven't you guys tried to clone them and put them on The Masked Singer? On the other hand, skeptics point out that even with our iPhones, our special cameras, we have yet to have a clear photo. Which suggests that aliens either have crazy, insane stealth, or they've been watching our planet long enough that they actually don't want to come here. Because we've been watching for long enough and we kind of don't. Like, this is our first time here and
You guys are fucking cray.
Yeah, y'all, I don't get it.
Y'all are...
Figure your shit out, bro.
Y'all are on something we don't want to be on.
Like, dare I say, get a grip.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, I heard that. Get a grip.
Get a grip.
And I'm gonna take that to my home planet. And I'm gonna tell everybody.
What are we gripping?
The get. Get a grip. Oh, what are we gripping? What do you want to grip? Oh. That hurt my eye really bad. I lost my translation. To your Listen, in conclusion, there are clearly things in our sky. Exhibit A. And only the smart people are actually looking out for it. Maybe.
You lost your head, friend.
My head? In conclusion,
Help me! Help me!
my body's exposed. You can see my boobies. You freakies! I knew y'all had some weird shit going on. Drop if we should start an alien OnlyFans. Because Apparently, it's
Great. And apparently,
that's a big thing. OnlyFans. Who are the fans? I'm a little bit confused.
But who's only? We bombed them.
She's thinking too much like an American. I'm gonna have to leave. You guys are seeing it. We're seeing it. The military is seeing it. And after all of these years of denying it, and the fact that there's nothing here claimed by the government, now they're kind of sprinkling in at the fact that there might be something there. What's going on here, huh? Y'all deny the fact that there might be aliens? Boy. Whatever a boy is. Boy. I like y'all lingo. Is it aliens or advanced tech? Or is it possibly the universe's weirdest episode of Punk'd? Y'all watch that? No, what was that? What was that? What was that action that you just did there?
That is a laugh.
Anyways, apparently next up on our news, we have the chilling, the blood-curdling stories of the Reddit. I'm really glad nobody's panicking. Apparently from sleep paralysis demons, because y'all haven't made friends with them yet, flickering lights in the basement, AI, apparently. I don't know. And also you guys talking to Alexa and claiming that it's speaking to you. No shit, you dingbat.
I ate my cookie earlier, and I'm gonna show you guys my 2 fortunes. Because what the fuck?
At this moment, someone is thinking good thoughts of you.
She's so stinky. Oh my gosh. She's so
Did you compliment me?
Yeah, don't worry, don't stress. Earlier today, I opened, like 10 minutes ago, I opened up a, oh, sorry, no, please go ahead with your ASMR. Do you want to continue your ASMR? Okay. Earlier, I opened one, and I ate it. So, a couple, I don't know, did I open this last episode? Okay, so this one says, a treasured friend not often seen will visit you soon. That's what I opened last episode. And today, 10 minutes ago, I opened another one that says, friends long absent are coming back to you. So, if you're watching this right now, long distant oft friend, and you're thinking about reaching out to me, go ahead, do it, because obviously I'm ready. Clearly the universe is giving me signs that they're going to come back to me, and obviously I feel like I'm ready, so let's go.
Today's story. Better get cozy. Get your tea going. Are you in bed? Sorry.
Is it nighttime?
That was inappropriate.
Cue music. Cue dark, scary music. Okay, so the first one is called The Chandelier. The year my mother and father were wed, my father bought his wife a very beautiful baccarat chandelier. It weighed 1 ton and hung down 2 entire flights of stairs. Because it was so large, my father searched the whole of Britain for an estate that could accommodate to it. He chose a very
Imagine
old...
buying a house just for a chandelier.
Yeah, I know. Okay, subtle flex. Palatial home in the Welsh countryside. The mansion was 6 stories tall, and in the middle of the house was a tall spiraled atrium with a glass ceiling. The stairs wrapped around the walls of the spire, encircling the great chandelier at the top. As far back as I can remember, I would spend my days laying underneath the cascading crystals far above, and watching the twinkling prisms catch the sunlight and cast vibrant, breathing rainbows across the walls. My mother would smile at me and giggle to my father behind her hands. I was a romantic, she said, a dreamer. Father would smile knowingly, but never bothered to glance my way. He only had eyes for my mother, at least until little George came along. But I wasn't a dreamer. No, I fought asleep with every breath. I much preferred to spend my evenings dancing in the star fields that twinkled in the spire on clear nights.
Sounds like a dreamer to me.
Yeah, seriously. If moonlight shone into the great atrium, it was transformed by the baccarat into a million shimmering, glittering tiny stars. The chandelier was always gently swaying. Even without a draft in the house, it would make the crisp, vibrant celestials dance upon the wall to a song only I could hear, and I would dance in the starfields. One day, I woke up from an afternoon nap to a loud but sluggish groan of a protesting metal. I arrived at the banister just in time to see the baccarat's metal supports snap in two. The chandelier fell half a story until it was brought up to an abrupt, violent halt by its last remaining support, a thick nylon rope. George was playing with a train set far below, and I screamed at him. He looked up at me just for a moment, and then he was obscured from my view as the nylon snapped. The chandelier went crashing down 5 stories to the first floor, where my mother had thrown herself detectively over George. My father would only shed his tears for them behind closed doors. A week after their deaths, father had the baccarat repaired and rehung. It had been my mother's, and he loved her so deeply. Perhaps he liked to look at the chandelier and think of her, but I preferred to imagine that he rehung it for me, because he knew how much I loved it. But the chandelier wasn't the same. The gentle cadence it had loyally kept since my birth was now replaced by the stillness as absolute as death. The rainbows were dull, almost colorless, and the dancing stars that had once glittered upon the walls at night were absent, and the spiraled atrium remained as dark as the heart of obsidian. I spent my days and nights lying on the floor, looking up at the chandelier, and hoping its magic will return to me. Some days I can almost see the vibrant colors in speckled starlight. Most days I see nothing at all. But nothing at all is better than the nightmare that peeks through the veil sometimes, cruel and uninvited. Sometimes I can feel the cold, and the hunger, and the pain in my chest. Sometimes the dark nights and the dull days make sense. Sometimes I can see the baccarat for what it really is, because sometimes I remember that it wasn't the chandelier that my father hung on top of the atrium that day, it was himself. That.
Bitch, I'm sitting here like, okay, lame. I asked for fucking horror, not poetry. I wasn't expecting that. Literally, you could see me. I'm like, another fucking flop.
Yeah,
another
seriously.
fucking flop. Bitch. That was actually really great.
That was really good.
His storytelling was amazing, and I was just, he got me. I was like, okay, well, this isn't very scary, and
Yeah.
your mom and brother died, boo. That was great.
I think that's something that I want to reread with that knowledge that he is hanging himself, you know? Okay. On to the second story.
Okay.
Go on.
Sure, we'll see if it's good. True story time. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and my parents had just separated. My mom was living in a 2-bedroom apartment. I had my own room, but I preferred to sleep in her bed whenever I was staying with her. Our 2 bedrooms were at the end of the hallway, directly across from each other. Our apartment was on the first floor, and I remember that it was in the middle of the summer, and my mom had a window open above her room, which was directly behind the bed, above a headboard. Anyways, I woke up in the middle of the night and I remember sitting up and seeing that our cat was sitting in the door frame of my mother's room. Her door was open and you could partially see into my bedroom. This was strange because our cat was typically always in bed with us. As I was watching him, he walked into my bedroom and meowed. I turned my face to my mom to wake her up. In the 3 or 4 seconds it took her to wake up and ask me what was wrong, we both looked back in the door frame, and there was a man standing by my open door, making his way out of my bedroom. I still don't know how she managed to do it so quickly, but my mother proceeded to pick me up and literally throw me out of the screen window again. We were on the first floor and it was maybe 3-foot drop to the ground. She quickly followed and we were able to start screaming for help and someone called 911. The police came but didn't see any signs of forced entry, only that our front door was unlocked, which led them to believe that the man must have exited that way. The strange thing was that my mom swore up and down that she had locked the door that night with the deadbolt and chain and lock. But a week later, she was cleaning the kitchen and opened up our water heater closet and found a notebook with names and drawings, as well as a pair of gloves and some gun wrappers. The police were called again, but all they could do was speculate that the man had been in our house and hid until we were asleep. And just to clarify, our apartment was on the ground level, so my mother didn't hurl me onto potential paralysis.
Okay.
Just a 3-foot drop to the grass.
That's funny.
What the hell?
I don't know. One of my biggest fears is having like a squatter in my house, and the idea of the fact that this whole time, 3 years that I've been living in my home, 4 years that I've been living in my home, at the fact that somebody's been there the whole time, or just even being there, is my biggest fear. Because also in my room, I have the attic entrance there, so they could easily just poke in and poke me.
That's so weird that your attic is in your house and not your garage.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
We have an attic entrance in my garage that, like, is permanently cracked open. So someone could be entering and exiting. I don't know. I've never been up there.
I don't want to go up there.
Today we learned that conspiracies aren't always about lizard people running banks or celebrities being clones. Sometimes they're about our own government spying on activists or billionaires getting away with crimes. Or maybe, just maybe, they're about aliens cruising past our planet thinking, these humans are a bit too messy to visit just yet. I would do that too. I'd feel the exact same way. Here's the thing about conspiracies. The scary ones aren't about monsters in the dark. They're about people in power and how far they will go to keep it. So stay skeptical, ask questions, and remember, paranoia is only unhealthy if you're not actually being watched.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the We'll Figure It Out podcast. I'm your host, Coral.
Emma?
And don't forget to keep your tinfoil hats close and your VPN subscriptions closer. Bada bing, bada boom.
I can breathe.